Education is the way to success, the advice to young people from a woman who was married at the age of 15 and who says marriage robbed her of her youth. Debate on the topic of child marriage surfaced a few weeks ago, and tonight we share the story of VASHTIE BAKSH, the featured speaker today at a child-teen marriage open forum discussion hosted by the National Library. She explained to CNews reporter Mahalia Joseph some of her hardships and how she managed to use education to uplift herself.
The child was taken away from me. I was unable to have friends. I was unable to be a student again. I was unable to play dolly house.
This sums up how Vashtie's child marriage robbed her of some precious moments. She believes the term child bride is an oxymoron because she says the two words contradict each other. When the request came from a 23-year-old gentleman to have the then Form 4 student's hand in marriage, her mother thought it was the best decision for her only daughter.
If somebody came along and I would have fallen into good hands, not being into really poverty and stuff like that. So I think that at the time she felt she was doing the right thing.
It was the start of a new life for the 15-year-old St. Stephen's College student.
While I did not actually have the yes or no say, or I don't want to do it, because of the life that you have lived, that was 20 years ago. When I got married and went into the marriage as being a housewife, I took up my duties as a housewife because my mom would have taught us to clean and cook and wash and do everything as an adult.
Though she didn't get the chance to court her new husband, she went into it with an open mind.
While not really knowing the seriousness about marriage, So the seriousness was never there, as I am actually a housewife, but I went into it anyways.
She slowly fell in love with him over the years, but Vashti said 10 years into their life together he changed and their marriage crumbled. When she could no longer take it, she packed her bags, took up her two daughters and never turned back. But it wasn't easy.
It was hard, especially for fear. Fear for change. Fear that you don't know where you're going to turn next. Fear that is it going to ever happen again. Fear that would I get a home. Fear for so many things. Fear for the life of my children, that I wonder would they blame mommy.
She had dreams of being educated and always strived to be successful, but her husband did not want her to work and provided for her every need. So with no education or money, she went back to her mother's house and got a job as a security officer to provide for her girls.
I started doing little certificates, got my certificates, sending it to management and stuff like that. And as I said, I kind of got greedy for education, because when I see I could get a certificate and get an A+, then I started, okay, probably I could look into the managerial level.
And she did. At age 50, she is the holder of a master's degree in business administration. She often shares her story with others with the aim of preventing another teenage girl from being robbed of their youth.
I don't want to ever feel old, one. And I want to have the youth that remain in me, I want to share it with my two girls. I hope they know that I love them very dearly.
Her only goal now is to be a mentor to her daughters and other girls in society, which is why she opted to speak at NALIS's open forum on teen and child marriage. She hopes that one day teenage girls will no longer have to be forced into marriage. Mahalia Joseph, CNews.
With all the talk of child marriage on the front line in recent times, librarians at the Young Adult Library at NALIS, Port of Spain, created a forum for teenagers who frequent the library to answer some of their many questions. Today they hosted an open child and teen marriage discussion to provide the opportunity for teens to become educated on the issues surrounding child marriage. Psychologist Dr. Tracy Rogers sought to explain the visible and invisible baggage it carries, as well as health concerns.
Children's bodies are growing and they're developing. Their organs are still very much developing, yeah? And by organs, we talk about organs that you could see as well as organs that you can't see.
At this forum that the young adults heard the story of VASHTIE BAKSH, who was married at 15 years old. Her story and the discussions by the other members of the panel encouraged them to look at this issue differently.
I've been done about arranged marriage as well. To my opinion, I don't really agree with it. Because I think children should have a right, and I don't think children are, at the age of 13, ready enough to have a marriage and have children at that young age. I think we should be more matured, finish our education, because I would not like my education to be deprived from me, because I want to be a very independent, strong woman.
And it was really an honor to learn new things and these information, and I will be able to share it with my friends in school and educate them, and that they won't end up in the road that other people end up, and they won't mess up their life. And